Today we're going through Espresso Display's entire lineup. We have 13, 15, 17 inches. We have tons of accessories. We have everything. I've never had this many products in front of me at the same time in the same video for the same purpose, and that is to find out which espresso are you. So if you're in the market for a portable solution with extra screen real estate for consuming content, working, studying, or whatever it is that you do, I'm convinced that we will find a setup that works for you today. This is a paid collaboration between Espresso Displays and myself. They've sent me all the displays. I've tested them for a very long time, and I just want to show you what I've experienced. My opinions are always my own. This is my video and my story. And if you want to purchase one of these displays, feel free to use my discount code, which will be in the description below. I make a commission on the sale and you pay less for the product. So unless you hate money, that's the link to click. There's a 30-day risk-free trial period, and there's also a 2-year warranty on the displays. I think we should get cracking because there's a lot to go through. So let's just dive in. I don't consider myself a digital nomad who writes scripts on a beach in Thailand or roam cafes in New York, but I am often on the move. And while on the move, you'll find yourself in a lot of different settings. Sometimes you have a room on your side, sometimes you have a room in front of you, sometimes you have all the room in the world, and sometimes you have no room at all. But common for most of these occurrences is that your display is your main workspace. So if you plan to work, play, consume content, study, screen real estate matters to you. But let's not forget, this combo has been great for centuries as well. Now let's get back to the lineup. 2 items makes it really interesting today. They're both news, and one is here and the other one is in this box. Now this one is so new that I had to keep my mouth shut about it for a while. The Espresso Touch 15 is, I would say, Espresso's heritage. It's their OG display that amassed 400,000 kangaroo dollars on Kickstarter in 2021. It's a 15.6 inches LCD display with 1080p resolution, measuring 14.1 by 10.1 inches and 0.2 inches thick. It weighs 1.8 pounds. Now, the panel itself is surrounded by premium aerospace aluminum. It has a refresh rate of 60 Hz. It's an 8-bit panel with 16.8 million colors, covering 100% sRGB and 300 nits brightness. It has power pass-through, meaning that you can power your machine through the display if it is plugged into external power. If all these numbers make you dizzy, you are probably the target consumer for this display. Now, this display is targeted towards regular users, and ironically, regular users do not care about the specifications I just talked about. You just have to decide if you want touch or not. Now, there will be a non-touch alternative later in the video. Here you have an ultra-portable setup to offload your main display. Maybe you have a browser on a portable display, maybe you have email, or maybe you need to get some UI elements from your software away from your main work area. To make sure you don't just slap the display straight down onto the desk, we have a stand. Hello?
Martin, this is Future Martin. You must not tell them about the stand.
Oh, Future Martin. Hey, did Apple ever fix Apple Intelligence?
No.
How's Bitcoin?
What? Stick to the script. There is no stand.
I have it in my hand as we speak.
It's all Stand Plus now. All the displays come with the new Stand Plus.
All the displays?
Well, technically the 13 and 15 inch come with the Stand Plus. The 17 has its own.
Yeah, the Stand Pro, right?
The Stand Plus Pro. It's the same as the Stand Plus, but it can carry more weight. The hinge. Tell them about the hinge. Okay, I gotta go.
Oi, you call that a stand? This is a stand. Now if you're old, you caught that reference. If you're not, all the displays now come with the new Stand Plus. So let's get into the Stand Plus. But before we do that, this setup with the display and the stand on the 15 Touch retails for $499. Now this one's really interesting because it's such a beautiful merge between extensive UX research and engineering iterations. Now the first thing you need to ask yourself in design is, what problem am I solving? Now Espresso did make the initial stand the way they did. It's a functional stand that holds your display up, but then they started looking into other areas where they could improve. Now for the Pro stand, they added a little hinge so you can put it down and you have a drawing angle. But then they started looking into other things as well. Now, one thing that can be challenging while traveling is limited space. What if you don't have a space on the side? A pretty regular occurrence out there in the wild. The city wild. While the stand and the Stand Pro did not raise your display higher than your laptop display, the Stand Plus does. It looks just like a regular stand when you have it in normal mode, but you can also split the base to raise it even higher. So it kind of pops up above your laptop display. This is perfect for these tight spaces and makes it easier for you to set up anywhere. And that's their motto, right? More anywhere. The Espresso Touch 15 has a little brother called the Espresso Touch 13. It's the same in every way except its smaller form factor. The 13-inch is 12.12 inches wide and 8.97 inches tall, and it weighs 1.4 pounds. The Touch 13 retails for $469, so it's just $30 less than the Touch 15. So if you're like me with my use case where you normally want to maximize the size, I would probably go for the Touch 15. But if a smaller form factor is important to you, then at least you have the option in the Touch 13. The Espresso non-Touch 15, which is called the Espresso Display, is the first news of the day. Fresh off the assembly line, this targets a wide audience. Now, it looks quite familiar, and it comes with the new Stand Plus. If the 13-inch is the 15 inches little brother, the Espresso Display 15 is its identical twin. Identical on the outside, that is. This one is less touchy. It's a bit lighter than the Touch 15 as well. It weighs 1.68 pounds versus the 1.8 pounds of the Touch 15. So I guess Touch weighs 0.12 pounds. Now that means that for the end user, you get a portable display, the same form factor as the Touch 15, you get the Stand Plus, but you don't pay for touch. Now do note that the pen feature also disappears when you remove the touch feature. So if you plan to draw or take notes or anything pen related, you should go for the touch. And now here's the best part. The Espresso Display 15 goes for $299. Yes, you heard that right. That's roughly 10 bags of coffee beans from Indonesia. In Norway, that is. But yeah, this is a no-brainer if you want a portable display that is quick to grab and it has all the specs you need for that just quick extra setup, but you don't need all the bells and whistles. This is the one for you. I predict that this will be a massive hit for Espresso Display moving forward. So far, we have looked at the consumer lineup. Now, there are some users that are harder to please. The ones who demand a higher standard of displays, They want sharper displays, they want brighter displays, they want better colors. And for these users, Espresso displays have created the Pro lineup. So now we're gonna go from the consumer lineup over to the Pro lineup. And we will dive into the biggest and baddest of them all, the Espresso Display 17. I work in the VFX and animation industry, and in our line of work, everything revolves around pretty pixels. Now, several professions would benefit from color accurate and high-res displays. Obviously, the 2D and 3D artists and graphic designers and photographers. And I'm assuming that maybe people in the medical or financial industry, if you are in front of a ton of graphs and every little detail and color variation is important to you, maybe you need a high-res and color accurate and brighter display. The Pro 17 has been my daily driver for a while now, both on the move and stationary. But lately, this has been a permanent part of my stationary setup. And we'll get back to why in a little bit. It's almost comical how small the Pro 17's footprint is. It's not much bigger than the Touch 15. I know this user base, they do care about the specs. So here we go. The Pro 17 has a 17.3 inch display, is 15.6 inches wide and 9.6 inches tall. Yes, you heard that right. The Espresso Touch 15 is 0.5 inches taller than the Pro 17. And that makes sense because they have removed the lip, or at least parts of the lip, when they made the Pro 17. Its power comes with some added body fat. It's 0.35 inches thick and weighs 2.4 pounds. But when it comes to specs, the Pro 17 is superior in every way compared to the Touch 15. The Pro 17 features a 4K resolution display with 1.07 billion colors using 8-bit plus FRC. The refresh rate is 60 Hz, it covers 100% DCI-P3, and while connected to a power source you get 450 nits peak brightness. I know there's a controversy about 60 Hz versus 120 Hz, and I have to say that I have not once had issues using a 60 Hz display during work. I'd rather keep the cost and power consumption down than to have a higher refresh rate. I also have very good experience with 8-bit plus FRC, and I assume a true 10-bit display would also drive the cost up. And just like the Touch 15, the Pro 17 comes with a stand as well. That is the Stand Plus Pro, and it's basically the same as the regular Stand Plus. It's just needed to kind of keep that extra weight up. You can split the base if you want to raise the display, or you can have it as a normal display. Now the Stand Plus Pro also has that little hinge that allows you to tilt everything down into that comfortable drawing angle. While the Pro 17 is made for the professional user, anyone who just wants a bigger screen with a better resolution can also pick up this one. I've obviously only used it for professional work, of course. For professional use, of course, I love using the display as a video clean feed in DaVinci Resolve. If I'm on a shoot, it's great to be able to whip up the setup, including a display. If you want to show clients what you've just worked on, it's cool to be able to go a bit bigger than your laptop. I'd also use this display for editing photos on the go, like say you're out doing some street photography, anything color related really. The brightness of 450 nits makes it possible to use outdoors as well. It clearly won't handle the brightest conditions out there, but it holds up pretty well in normal conditions. Sometimes you just have to be a little bit creative on the placement of the display as well to get the best viewing angle. Now the Pro 17 is permanently connected to my stationary setup at home. I have a new guy with me at all times now. Now you saw it a few seconds ago, but you probably didn't realize my new on-the-go buddy is the Espresso Pro 15. This is the main one. This display is the perfect blend of portability and professional quality. You blend the Touch 15 and the Pro 17 and you get the Pro 15. It inherited the great specs from the 17-inch, a 15.6-inch display with a 4K resolution. I honestly did not expect this to be 4K, more in the 1440p land to be honest. It covers 100% Adobe RGB, it pulls 550 nits from a single cable, making it brighter than the Pro 17 without the need of an additional power source. If I were forced to pick one display to rule them all, this would be the one. This is the display I recommend to anyone able to add a few $100 extra from the Touch 15. The Pro 17 is for the very top-end user who needs those extra few inches, while the Pro 15 is the display to get for business travelers and artists in need of a more travel-friendly setup. The retail price for the Pro 15 is $699. And this display has already been recognized as a display to look out for. Espresso display received an honorary innovation award at CES Las Vegas 2025. It also comes with the Stand Plus, just like Future Martin said. Now, while the Espresso Display 15 will be the new all-rounder, I predict that the Espresso Pro 15 is going to be in all the on-the-go professional backpacks out there in the world. This one is my new daily driver. Professional users who rely on color accuracy for their work would also need to calibrate their displays to keep the colors consistent. I use the Datacolor Spyder Pro to calibrate my displays. For my stationary indoor setup, I've calibrated both my main LG display and the Espresso Pro 17. Thank you, Patricia at Datacolor, for supplying the Spyder Pro for this collaboration. Setting up the hardware is easy. You get a USB-C to USB-A adapter to make sure you can plug it into your system. Download their software, plug in the Spyder, and follow the on-screen prompts. Drink a coffee, play some chess, and after the calibration, you are left with a before and after page and a brand new display profile which has already been selected in the display properties. The process is so quick that you can do a full color calibration while ordering a coffee. So when you're on the move, you can also just calibrate the display at the cafe if you want to. I'll most likely make a separate video on how to use the Spyder Pro to calibrate your displays, so make sure you subscribe if you're into colors. When it comes to accessories, there is a bunch of accessories that you can buy on the side. You can also buy bundles on their website, so make sure you look into that. If you already know that you want pretty much everything, you can just bundle that up and get a bundle. Now let's start looking at the cases. The cases have different use cases. Oh no, where is it? I've misplaced my case. Seems like we have a case here. Oh my god, this never ends, does it? There we go. Okay. The cases, they protect your displays, they're magnetic, and they can also function as a minimal stand if you like. And the way you do that is that you kind of break it into two. You don't really break it, you bend it. This bends like that, and it bends both ways. So you can set it up as you like. For instance, if you, oh, that's also magnetic. If you set it up on a table like this, for instance, you have a minimal light version of your stand. You can also do it the other way around, where you flip it and then you break it like that. There you go. You have your minimal stand setup. It makes travel extra light. Well, technically, the case weighs 1.33 pounds, while the stand weighs 1.25 pounds. So if you put them up against each other, just bring this one. But you will most likely have a case anyways, because you would like that extra protection for your display. And by bringing just the case itself, you make that travel a bit lighter. For the Pro 15, I'm currently trying out this Andar sleeve called The Chase. Thank you, Nick, for sending me this as well. It's made of soft, supple, full grain leather with a plush microfiber inside. It's got a 360-degree protection, which basically means you can place your display any way you want because it's all plush microfiber inside. There's also a little pocket on the front here. You can put your Kindle or your extra accessories like cables. So this is a really, really nice sleeve that I bring with me everywhere I go now. So my preferred setup now for the Pro 15 is with the Stand Plus and this one here. The espresso cases come in all different sizes, so just make sure that you pick the one that is right for your display. Did I mention how gorgeous the Chase is? I can't wait for this to age and just be all that nice worn leather feeling. Yeah, it's gonna be nice. All displays come with a stand, either the Stand Plus or the Stand Plus Pro. You're ready to go out of the box. Should you wish to add an additional stand to your setup, you can, as they are sold separately. The Espresso Stand Plus is $69 and the Espresso Stand Plus Pro is $99. If you want to attach your display to your gorgeous monitor arm, you can buy the Espresso VESA mount for $49. As an added protection for your display, you can buy a thin film to place on top of your display. There are two different types to choose from. The Protector is a 2H hardness protective sheet and the Creator is a 3H hardness sheet. The other main difference between the two is that the Creator is targeted towards pen usage, hence the name Creator. It has a paper-like feel to it and it makes the writing experience closer to what you would feel drawing on paper. The pack includes 2 sheets, so feel free to mess up the installation or replace it if you scratch it. If you're a cafe junkie who spends a lot of time with a coffee in the morning, or if you spend an entire days at cafes, you might have stumbled upon the monstrosities that are cafes without power outlets. It's almost like they don't want you to treat their space as your office. Fear not, we can still hang around for hours and hours. The Espresso Charge is a huge power bank delivering 32,000 milliamp hours in a form factor that fits the base of your stand. It clocks in at 1.97 pounds. It's a bit heavy. In comparison, my 20K GP is 0.82 pounds, but the Espresso Charge kind of fits the whole setup perfectly, as the stand just like snaps into the charge itself. We've briefly talked about the Espresso pen earlier in the video. This little thing, which magnetically snaps onto your display, is charged via USB-C. It's got one extra button over here that you can map to either right-click or the Espresso action button itself. You can use it to draw and take notes, or you can use it as an input instead of a mouse. Now this section leads us into the Espresso software because these pens are made to work with the Espresso software. So let's dive into the Espresso software. Espresso has created software packages to accompany your hardware. The setup software is called Flow. In Flow, you can set up your display, change the scale, and set the orientation and location of the display, although this is normally handled automatically with Glide and Auto Rotate. In Flow, you can also add workspaces to kick off the software you want to work with. One limitation that I hope they fix is that you can add multiple of the same software. If I need 4 browsers, for example, it would be nice to have them all laid out. And then there's Jot, which allows you to sketch whatever you want. My favorite is the screenshot-like functionality where you can draw on top of your screen. It's also super simple to drop whatever you just worked on into another software. Wow, that was a lot to cover. Now I hope you got like a clear overview of everything, and let's quickly do a recap of the lineup so we can just make sure that we have everything. Now, the consumer lineup is the Touch 13, the Touch 15, and the non-Touch 15 called the Espresso Display. The 13-inch is 469, the 15-inch is 499, and the non-touch espresso display is 299. On the Pro side, you have the espresso display Pro 17 and the Pro 15. Now the Pro 17 retails for $799 and the Pro 15 retails for $699. They all come with their own stands, the Stand Plus or the Stand Plus Pro. Again, remember that there are also bundles if you want to get the whole package. So there's a variety of setups to choose from here. Let me know in the comments what you went for or want to go for. I'm really interested to see like what kind of use cases you have as well, so it would be really nice to hear about that. If you want to support the channel, the best thing you can do is just to share the video actually. You can also like and subscribe of course, but spreading the video is the best thing you can do. It's been great to have these displays on the go. I use them every single day. So happy being out and about. Bye.